All right, what's up, guys? So, yeah, let's go ahead and drop that sub. Shout out to Club Shay Shay. Man, just like, all right. So let me just say this: I'm not like some massive LeBron James fan. I will say this: I am a fan of him, but I'm just a fan of who he is as a person. Like, I respect his art, I respect what he does, but I'm more so a fan of like just the person that he is, like the example that he set for the people that like looks up to him and stuff. Like he could just be one of these basketball players, going out, blowing all his money and stuff, and just being seen in the clubs. But it's like at the end of the day, like this is a family man. Like this is somebody that's just doing what he does to provide for his family, and he's one of the best at it. So anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who LaVar Ball is, and LaVar Ball probably has to be the most cockiest person to be in sports, but to have like no like sports background. I'm not saying that he's never played sports a day before in his life, but I'm like to be quoted in the title of this video, LeBron can't be the GOAT with L's on his record. Like you acting like some of the like people that are greater than LeBron that they don't have L's on their record. Everybody has an L on their record. You can't go through your whole life just having a perfect score. All right. They're like the only person that we were thinking that was going to do that was Undertaker, and that man ended up losing to Brock Lesnar. So I'm just saying, and that was scripted stuff. So I'm like, that's you gotta chill on some of your quotes, cause it's ain't gonna be too likely with some people. But no, let's see what this what goes down. But make sure you guys go subscribe to the Club Shay Shay channel. And that being said,
I'm Shannon Sharp. Welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host and proprietor of Club Shay Shay. The young man, well, he's not really young, but the man that's coming by today to have a drink and conversation. Guys, you know he doesn't need any introduction, but he's the only man that can say, I have had two sons drafted in the top three picks of the NBA
that is
draft.
good. That is good. I did see that, and I was like, that is good. You don't hear that. It's like you don't. It's like you. I ain't never heard it. So no, I have to round of applause for that one. So yeah, that's I'll give him credit for that.
He's the CEO of Big Baller Brand. He's a businessman. He's a former NFL player, and he's one of the most polarizing figures in all of
I
America.
did forget about that. So let me correct myself. He did play football. He did, but I'm like, who do we like? But my thing is like, what do we know you for? Do we know you for your sons, or do we know you for your football record, or whatever you were doing in football and stuff? I'm like, I just saying. I'm just saying. Like, or not even that. Like, do we know you for football, or do we know you for what you say when you get on TV, or just when a microphone is in front of you?
LaVar Ball. Will this debate about who's the GOAT ever end between LeBron and Jordan, or who's your GOAT? How do we determine that? What's the
Well, we're
determining
never
factor?
going to be able to determine it. That's why we got to keep talking about it, because you never can go back into that era and be like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. It's what people did in those eras. You
Right.
know what? It's who you grow up on. I mean,
That's I had to agree with that because I'm like I do think that LeBron is in a league of his own, like in this new age of basketball. Yeah, of course LeBron's the GOAT, but in an older age of basketball, Michael Jordan's the GOAT, and people before Michael Jordan they're the GOAT, and the people before them they're GOATs. So in each era of basketball or any sport whatsoever, you're gonna have like a generation where it's like those that grew up watching this guy, they're, it's just going to move on. And it's just going to be a next generation and just a whole, just different, like, just, I guess, like teams, like just different people. And then, somebody in that group is going to have to prove themselves to be the GOAT. So, yeah, but it's just that comparison and stuff. Like, you could play it in video games, you could do matchups, you could do whatever you want to do, playing cards, whatever. But it's just two different eras. So I that's how I see sports. Like in that era, yeah, that person's the GOAT. Like to combine them eras, it's impossible because there's like uh, very few people that had. Not even that. It's like it's no. I think anybody from like MJ era, it's just yeah, they're most likely retired, coaching, whatever, doing something. But it's just I just personally believe it's like you can't compare two generations and then there's like a winner or a loser or something. So
And to do the stuff that LeBron does, nobody been that big and strong. It's like saying, okay, Karl Malone, I need you to go out there and play point. That ain't gonna never happen because they don't have the skills like that. It's the same thing. Magic, you big, but you ain't 260 like LeBron, and you ain't jumping like that. Now, as far as that player built like that, he's a monster. But the greatest of all time is, how do you measure that? You measure that by your victories and what you did in those victories. I ain't talking about you got 12 rings and you've been on 5 different teams. I'm talking about a dude who went to the finals, who was the main guy 6 times in a row. And if you can't beat that, when you have losses on your record, you can't be the greatest of all time. That dude ain't got no losses in the finals. So it's always going to be Michael Jordan until my boys succeed that, which is going to happen.
Well, first of all, you can't just say it's all about the finals, LaVar, because they did play finals in the seasons that he didn't go to the finals. What about that?
Well, like I said, the finals, if you don't get there, you're off the hook.
Well, you're not off the hook. So in other words, see what you did?
Off the hook if you don't go to the finals. But when you go to the finals, you got to lose one.
No.
Championships going at it.
All
the
the
best
years.
from the East, the best from the West. You
That
got to
man
lose one. That boy didn't lose not one.
He ain't beat nobody.
Well, you can call nobody if you want to. Whoever out there, I see somebody.
Bro, I appreciate you giving me a little time today. Congratulations again.
Do your thing, man. It's good talking with you, man.
Good talking to you. Tell Tina I said hello.
I'll let you later.
Hey, you still owe me breakfast. You still owe breakfast. You still owe.
Whenever you got some free time, we're going to get together and I'm going to cook that up for you.
All right, I appreciate that, bro.
Big
Good
ball
luck.
style, baby.
All right,
I'm going to holler at you.
I swear.
You know what
LaVar,
to do.
Wait, what?
Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something for two something.
I swear, LaVar Ball, he's like that wild uncle that you just do like the small laughs to make him feel better about his joke. But I'm like, yeah, it's, man, I don't know. I can't agree with that statement. I personally can't, because I'm like, anybody in any, game, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, rugby, you can name any sport, golf, you can name any sport out there. The greatest of all time, MJ, greatest of all time, he has L's on his name. And that's what I'm like, that's a good point right there. I'm about like, he's saying that that he's like LeBron's like not on that level, or he's not the greatest of all time because he has L's on his name and things. But I'm like, and you're saying that it's MJ. There's no disrespect to MJ. Like my thing is like, for anybody to go out there, do their thing, like that's special. That's something that's like, not too many people can like say that they've done. And so for these guys to go out there, kill it each and every time when they're playing and stuff, like I see it's like, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whether you have more loss or more wins than LeBron or Michael, you did your thing. So there will be, my thing is that there will be a person, a random person, it could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be your kids, it could be whoever. They're going to look up to you. They're going to say that you're the greatest of all time. Despite all of the other people that's in the game that's killing it, or, not killing whatever, there's going to be people that's going to look up to that person and say that they're the greatest of all time. So there's people that look up to LeBron and they see him as the greatest of all time. Why? Because they're in this I can't say, my thing is like, I can't say, or have like an argument on who's better between Michael or LeBron. I was born in '96, so I'm like, I was like, what? I didn't even know what Michael Jordan was like up until I was in like elementary, or like barely middle school, not middle school, preschool or elementary. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention to that type of stuff, but I'm just saying like, then as I got older, you start hearing the name LeBron James, that's who you're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, obviously. So if you ask somebody like myself, then okay, it's like a lot of people my age is going to probably say, I don't know, it's, whether like whenever they, I guess, like, I mean, I can't go back and watch like some Michael Jordan games and stuff. But, I mean, like, yeah, I'll have to say he's, like, an original, like, greatest of all time. LeBron, he'll be an original greatest of all time. It's like, you can't just have one greatest of all time and expect that to be the end of the conversation. There's going to be multiple greatest of all times. So I'm like, it's gonna be LeBron. It's like Kobe, Michael, LeBron. A bunch of people are gonna be on that list. So it's like it can't just be supplied or just for one person. Multiple people are gonna have to be on that list. I'm like, LaVar, I don't know. I would tell him to stick to something, but I'm like, I don't know what he needs to stick to. I'm like, I don't know what that man does. I mean, like, they mentioned what he does, but I'm like, I don't know. But anyways, yeah. LaVar Ball, he's one of those guys where it's like, you're gonna have to take what he says very lightly. Don't let it get to you. But anyways, yeah. Talk to you guys later. Thank you. And once again, I know people are going to be like, oh, you just a LeBron. As I have like some LeBron James shoes. Where's the, and then the shoes right back here. Yeah, I'm not like a diehard LeBron James fan. Like I said, I look up to his art and I look up to who he is as a person. So I'm like, that's the more motivating factor. But it's like the whole discussion of him being the greatest of all time or somebody else being the greatest, that type of stuff, to me, it's like, I don't know, it might have mattered to me when I was like in school, when it just seemed like it was just one of those conversations to have. But it's like as you get older, you realize that there's more to it than to how many buckets I can score, how many assists I could get, or how many steals I could get, or blocks, or it's more to it. So I think a lot of people need to see that. It's like there's a lot more to the game than what you see. There's a lot of stuff like behind the scenes, like everywhere. So anyways, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Club Shay Shay for more videos like this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.